Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video, and well, back with a new unboxing video because I received viral mail like a few weeks ago, actually, a hefty parcel coming in from Cologne. This one here, which has been coming to me kind of courtesy of Robert Feuchtel, aka Bob Humid, who is an artist and mastering engineer in Cologne, and he obviously tells the artist he works with well, there's a guy in Hamburg who's like reviewing records and CDs and stuff, and if you have a new release out and I'm involved in there with mastering, please send him a package. And therefore I received this one coming from an artist called Roland Schappert, which sent me a mail, obviously, up front to this mail, to sending this out and asking for my address and stuff, which is always nice, always good to know when there's something coming, because sometimes the delivery guys mix up names and addresses and stuff, and this time it was kind of tricky to receive this one from the post office because the delivery guy totally messed things up when he like wrote my notification thing I got in my post box before I could pick this up, and turned this one, Nightstyle CE/base, into a kind of like Afghani Iranian sounding name, which had nothing to do with with what was written on there. So yeah, that happened. And before I go into this, just a little story, because I worked a shift at the record store today, and well, if I'm ever come to a point where I run a record store on my own, it will be a record store with like no walk-ins, appointment policy with a little booking fee, upfront booking fee, which will be fully refundable for with the first purchase, and most of all, it will be like a one customer in store only policy, because I don't know what happened with the young people that are buying records, but I had a group in there, like 5 or 6 guys, 2 of them were about like to buy records, and they were so annoying and loud and dancing in the store and having phone calls, making phone calls from the store and whatever, and I basically told them, like, which I rarely do when they left the store, hey, the next time you come to the store, please leave your friends at home, because it's ultra annoying and it like takes away the fun from me in terms of like recommending you stuff, and it takes away from your time and your focus on buying record and stuff. And therefore I decided, if I ever run a record store on my own, if I come up with the funding or whatever, this will be like an upfront booking policy, one customer only, no girlfriends, no group of friends, whatever. I will make it like a one-on-one pleasant experience with a lot of like education and like a lot of help from my side, but I will never deal with any walk-ins or with like groups of people ever again if I run my own record store at some point. But this is just a side note, so let's dive into this. Heavy one, might be a double album, we'll see, and I don't have any idea how to open this properly. A little violin seems to work. So we got a very professionally packed album in here. Unfolds, but there is more glue involved, so I'm gonna take that out here. This one is empty right now, so this goes into the bin. There's a little note on here as well, stuck to the album, which is interesting. It's a double LP, Route 2 is the name. There's a few club suitable things on there, and like big bass lines and stuff, and well, there's a note, have a look. I will remove that kind of glittery foil, but I see that the distribution is handled by A-Musik, which is, oh, there is some artwork on here. I don't know if this is like a thing that he had lying around, or if this is like a thing that belongs to the album as well. But the distribution is handled by A-Musik from Cologne, which is a legendary both record store which has been around for many years, and also like a distribution mail order thing, which is or used to be closely related to what came from the Mouse on Mars guys, and I guess they have been taking care of labels like Sonic and artists like Microstoria and whatever. So a place for like abstract, intelligent electronic music, also IDM, and well, IDM in form of intelligent dance music and electronica, and that like crowdsy post rock electronic mixture that a lot of Cologne artists had at the time. So they're still around. They also have like a copy of my latest album there, I guess. So I know they ordered one. So this will be, well, the link to my album on Bandcamp will be popping up here as well. So this is the artwork. Route 2, created by Roland Schappert. There's a download code at r-accords.com, I guess. This looks like a spray paint or like a stencil, but actually it seems to be a print. I really like that minimalistic approach of the front side with that kind of buoy kind of thing. So I've been raised like up north at the northern coast of Germany, and so those things, which is, this is not a boat, this is like a kind of floating device which I guess sends out signals or like provides information where ships can actually run. Those things and a lot of things with like maritime technical background, they speak to me in a form. So there is an inlay as well. There's an interesting typography. This, do you know when people do that, when they have like a coffee stain on a piece of paper and they create art from that? So this is what this one looks like, kind of. There's a lot of information on the flip side. The limited edition actually of 250 copies, as it states here. So I will zoom in a bit so I guess you can have a look. A lot of websites to check out, and yeah, 250 copies, a double vinyl. And the vinyl also goes with the same approach of that kind of coffee stainish art. 2 tracks per side, I guess. This is the A side. So would be interesting to know if Route 2 is the project name or the artist name as well, but I guess as the one is crossed out on the cover, I guess this is the album name, and Roland Schappert has done an album that is called Route 2 as well. So there's not much press information, but I think this is more like or could be more like ambient drone, maybe a little dub techno in the mix, in that form of the dub techno thing that Chain Reaction or whatever has done. So with a lot of ambientish attitude, and there's a strange cocktail mentioned on the last track here. Campari Sekt, which is actually Campari and sparkling wine mixed. This doesn't sound like a good mixture, but whatever, I haven't tried this. So I'm going to review this on my website, nightstay.de, within a few days. Or a few more. So I guess I'm trying to get this done tomorrow and get the review up somewhere, someone throughout the next week. Because I recognized I've been doing, I've been on a delay tip kind of, because I reviewed an album I had gotten like 4 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago, and I put that review up today, but I reviewed this today, so the delay from like sending stuff into stuff getting reviewed is like 4 to 5 to 6 weeks right now, because I got so much stuff. But here it is once again, Route 2, created by Roland Schappert from Cologne actually, distributed via A-Musik. I will show you the back as well. I'm very curious what this is. So yeah, deep listening music, ambient music is a thing I really like these days. I found I'm like kind of gravitating away from like proper like functional club music these days, and my interest, which always has been in the form of like more experimental stuff, it goes back big time into that kind of experimental non-linear off the like beaten path electronic music in general, and also post-punk and that kind of stuff. So I guess I might leave that kind of straightforward techno, drum and bass, garage thing behind for a while, I guess, and dive more into the realm I originally came from when I started like my radio shows and stuff. So, and also the radio shows on Radio Flouka, which are about to come like throughout the next 12 months. I recorded quite a few of those already, might be drifting into that like more experimental terrain. But this is just another side note. So thank you, Willem, for sending this out. I will notify you about the review and stuff. And now I'm going to go into editing mode because I want to get this video up and shoot another one tomorrow, I guess. So Bass Junkie out for now on a Saturday evening. See you on the next one.